Alright guys, so now we took a short drive and we are in Prambanan, which is a Hindu set of temples. It is the largest Hindu temple in all of Indonesia, and I think one of the largest one in East Asia. So really cool, just an hour drive from Borobudur. So we are sort of right here. Gonna go walk through this, and here is the Prambanan set of temples. As you can see, it was a large square size temple, sort of little town, and you have the main three temples right here, and then we're gonna rush our way and walk all the way down the park, see a few more temples along the way, and hopefully get a glimpse on the Sewu temples, which is Buddhist. So you have Hindu temples here and then Buddhist temples here, and Sewu complex is actually the oldest one of them all. It predates Prambanan by 70 years and it predates Borobudur by 30 years. So hopefully we have the time. There's only 15 minutes left before they close down, so we're gonna go on a stroll and I'll show you around.
Right now you are in the Prambanan temple complex, and Prambanan, this is the biggest Hinduistic temple that we have in Indonesia. So if we are compare with Borobudur, it has different background of religion, because you remember Borobudur is the biggest Buddhist temple.
Yes.
And Borobudur is the biggest Buddhist in the world. And Prambanan is the biggest Hinduistic temple in Indonesia only.
Okay.
And the biggest one in the world so far still Angkor Wat in Cambodia. But if we are compare with Angkor in Cambodia, this temple is 300 years older. This is 1,200 years old, and Angkor 900 years old.
Okay.
So it's mean it was built in the 9th century and Angkor from 12th century.
Oh, I see.
But if we are compare between Prambanan and Borobudur, Prambanan only 30 years younger than Borobudur.
Okay.
So we can say when the king of Buddha built Borobudur and the building it was still in progress, the king of Hindu start building the temple right here.
Oh, okay.
So what they did, it was a kind of competition to show the golden times, political power and economic power. And something that's very strange, right here in Java, in central Java, between Hindus and Buddhist kingdom, they were living together in peaceful. That's why between Hindus and Buddhist temple was built not so far. Because we have one Hindu temple here. In the north side, we have 3 Buddhist temple. In the west, 3 kilometers, another Buddhist temple. In the south, 1 kilometer, another Buddhist temple again.
Okay.
And it was so strange. And how they could be together, it was because there was a mixed wedding. The king of Hindu who built this temple, he married the princess from Buddhist family. But the idea, it was not from the king of Buddha. The idea, it was, the idea is from the king of Buddha who built Borobudur, not the king of Hindu itself.
Okay.
Because the king of Buddha is older than the king of Hindu. So he was tired with the long conflicts that's already going on more than 4 or 5 generations. Finally, he tried to make it in peaceful, and the idea, the only one to make them to be one big family. That's why there was a mixed wedding.
Interesting. Oh wow.
And it was never happened before.
Never happened before.
Right. That's why when the mixed wedding was going on, actually not all the Buddhist family agree. There was one prince from Buddha. He was not agree. His name was Bala Putra Dewa. And finally he did rebellion to his own father. But when he did rebellion to his own father, he was defeated because the king of Hindu support father-in-law. That's why the prince of Buddha finally ran away to Sumatra. And he built another Buddhist kingdom in Sumatra. That's why if you visit Sumatra, you could find a lot of ruin of Buddhist temple.
Really?
But there is no ruin of Hindu temple because Hindu people never come to Sumatra or never went to Sumatra.
I see.
That is to be the reason only in Java we could find Hindus and Buddhist kingdom.
That's so interesting.
Exactly in the biggest temple, it was done at 856 after Christ.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
And Borobudur 824.
And
And then the building of small temples surrounds, it was continued by the generation after the first king. 150 years after they built the biggest temple, everything that they built totally fall down into the ground again. It was because the big disaster from the volcano Merapi.
I see.
Merapi is 25 kilometers from here, got big eruptions. It was followed by the big earthquake and destroyed all the hole that we have on that day plot right here.
I see.
And now we are 25 kilometers in the south side of Merapi and Borobudur in the northwest of Merapi, and the distance only 24 kilometers.
That's not a lot.
Not so far.
Not so far.
So the house of the god Sewa.
Oh.
If we are compare with Angkor Wat, exactly 99% same, because Angkor Wat, that is called, from the inscription that we found, that is called Pisnulok. Pisnulok, that is from the word Vishnu Loka. Vishnu is the god of protector, and Loka it means paradise. So the paradise of Vishnu, and this is the house of Sewa, so it means also the paradise of Sewa. Sewa is the destroyer, Vishnu is the protector. So only different god that they choose to be the highest one.
I see, I see.
Because every big population of Hindus, the king they can choose which is the most important god for them. But the biggest sector in the world so far still Sewaism.
Still.
Sewa.
Even though it's a god of destruction?
Yeah, right. Because
why is that?
Because what they believe, Sewa is not destroyer of human, but Sewa is destroyer of evil.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the point here, we have to know, we pass here for the runs. What we supposed to know is what is evil in the meaning concepts of Hindu mythology. Evil, it's mean the bad people. And for example, when the bad people give problem to the good people, and the good people has no more power to control the bad people, that is the time of Sewa to come to help the good people by his way.
Okay.
And the way of Sewa to help the good people, Sewa will use the power of natural disaster. That is to be the biggest problem. Because when Sewa did his job, so it means not only kill the bad people, but it will be give a bad impact for the good people. That's why the good people will be so scared to Sewa, and the good people come to Sewa and worshipping to Sewa, and they said to Sewa and they tell to Sewa, please Sewa, do not come, because we can solve the problem by ourselves.
Interesting, so interesting.
And of course, we cannot solve the problem because more people, more bad people than the good people. Always like this. The only one way to stop Sewa to come to this earth, we need more good people than bad people. And of course, we cannot come to every single person to stop what they did bad thing to the good people. The only one way, only we start from ourselves to be a good person. This is the concept.
I see, I see.
And this is the pictures of the temple. The problem
Look
of
at that,
restoration a long time ago, it was about the cost, about the model of the temple. And actually right now the restoration is still going on, and the problem it is from the earthquake, another disaster like that's happened in 2006. And another problem it is about the material that's still missing. Because a long time ago when the temple it was totally fell down into the ground, nobody cared anymore. And 700 years later, in 1733, this temple just discovered again by the Dutch when the Dutch starts coming here. And when it was discovered, of course, not they didn't do anything, just made the report, and finally the restoration started 200 years later. And then before the idea of restoration was coming to them, what they did, it was they took a lot of material for building like the foundation of railway or the train station on the sugar factory. That's why it is to be the biggest problem for us.
I see, I see.
That's why right now we can see only 21 towers finished in restoration. In rest, we're supposed to have totally 240 towers here.
I see. That is so beautiful. So this would be the Shiva tower?
Shiva in the middle, right, and then Vishnu in the north side, and then
north side.
Brahma in the south side. So there are 3 main temples and 3 others little bit smaller than them. We call it Wahana. Wahana, it means the transportation on the vehicle of the gods. Because Shiva has the cow for the riding animal, so they have they built the temple for the cow. So in front of Shiva exactly, and then in front of Vishnu is Garuda, and another one is the swan that is for Brahma, for the god of creation. The key system.
This is how they lock.
Yes, right.
So no cement or anything.
No cement, no glue. glue nothing for building the temple first time. What they use is just the interlocking system like a Lego. But to make it stronger for the first restoration, the Dutch, they tried to use the cements. Although the cements not so strong like that we are expected, because at 2006 or 16 years ago, another big earthquake hit this temple, and this temple little bit get the problem again. We use 75% original material. And then the new material that we can use to replace the stone that missing, maximum is only 25%. And of course it is to be big problem for us, because we have to collect the stone first, and actually we don't know the places where is it right now. But right here at least we can see one of the temple that's already done. And we can see one of the new stone that we use. We use the same kind of stone, lava stone, but it is not allowed to make the carving.
I see.
So every generation will be easier to recognize the new and the old one. And every piece of single new stone, we give the marking like this, or like this. It is the marking from tin. Yeah, this is the soft metal.
Gotcha.
And then the carving, most of them in the Hindus and Buddhist temple is always lotus, because lotus symbol of purity in the Buddhist temple. And then so you can find like this, for example, the mouth of the dragon. This is the eyes, mouth of the dragon, and it is combined with the trunk of elephant. And this is called makara, the function to refuse evil from outside. So in front of the gate we can find always the ornament like that. And then it is actually is the tongue of the demon that we have right here. So the mouth of the demon is open up and the tongue coming out. And the end of the tongue here we can find the ornaments of dragon and the trunk of the elephant.
I see.
Sometimes the dragon combined with lion. Sometimes the dragon combined with cobra or turtle, like that one. And like above the door also you can find the ornament, the face of the demon. And the door, actually that is the concept, is the mouth of the demon that open up. And then the tongue coming out and transforms to be the stairs. So when we enter into the temple, it means we enter into the mouth of the demon. And then if not a good person enter to the temple, what will be happen? They will be trapped inside, because the mouth of the demon will be closed. So only the good people, only the holy people could enter to the temple. That is the concept.
Interesting.
That's why when the Hindus people are coming, so they want to enter to the temple long time ago, they have to stop right here and they apologize from the sins that they have. That's why not everybody might enter. Exceptions in Bali, it will be easier because they have a lot of priests, so they just come to the priest, they got holy water from the priest, they will enter to the temple.
Wow, look at that.
White stone that we have right there, that is the positions, the stones that's missing. And then because we cannot find it, we have to search, we have to make the molding on the replica first. So we will see the positions of the key system with the limestone, because limestone is much softer than lava stone. And after done, and then we will pick up one by one and we give it to the worker to find it one by one also. If we could find it, we collect again. But if we cannot find it, we will make the new stone to replace the stone that missing with the lava stone, and bind that system. So for restoration one small temple like this, it will take so long times, at least 14-15 months for one temple. And then right now we have 21, and then one right there in progress, and in December, in Christmas time, will be done. And then another 218 still waiting for the restoration. So you can imagine, if one temple more than 1 year, so
it's gonna take more than 100 years.
100 years, yes. And you can come back here next life.
Your next life, yeah, exactly.
Right. 8 small temples and 8 big temples. And the small temple like this, it is also very important from the Hindu temple complex, because the function, it is to block the evil that want to enter it to this level. Because what they believe, evil cannot turn right or turn left. Evil just goes straight. And then only human who can turn right or turn left. So evil will be blocked and never enter to this level. Exceptions when the human getting upset, it means the heart and the mind already controlled by the evil. So human who getting upset will never able to turn right or turn left. So just go straight and then break all the rule. That is the concept. And it is like in the Chinese Feng Shui. They use the mirror behind of the door. Because the function it is to give the reflections of the evil who want to enter it. And the evil will be watching themselves or something like themselves, and they will be so scared and they never enter it. So that's why the human who getting upset will never come in front of the mirror to watch themselves. Because they will see not themselves, but they will see the evil in front of the mirror.
Interesting. Look at this, guys.
That is the biggest temple, but let's run. We can make a run if you want to get the good
Uh-huh.
pictures. And from here first,
Oh, this is the big
you will
temple.
Get the good
Wow.
pictures if you compare with Borobudur. The temple is higher because you remember Borobudur 2 meters and this is 47 meters. So what they did, it was exactly competitions to show the golden times and political power, also economic power. And you remember the biggest temple that is dedicated for the Lord Shiva, for the highest god, and then Vishnu in the north side, and Brahma for the god of creator in the south side.
So Brahma
And then
there.
with the concepts of the
Vishnu
Hindus,
there.
people believe that the destroyer always to be the highest god, because Shiva is not destroyer of human, but Shiva is destroyer of evil. Yeah. And then with the concepts that evil is the bad people who give problem to the good people, that's why the god Shiva will come help the good people when the bad people give more problems and the good people cannot solve the problems. And then we can see that the people so scared to Shiva, people come to Shiva asking Shiva not to come because they promise to Shiva that they can solve the problem by themselves, but they cannot always success to do that. That's why the people also come to the Lord Vishnu, the protector. And they ask Vishnu, please come down to this universe to help us from the bad people who give problem to us. But Vishnu always said that he cannot come to us. Why Vishnu doesn't want to come to us? Because the problem, Vishnu only has 10 chances to save this earth. Only 10 chances of reincarnation, and the problem, Vishnu already coming 9 times. This is to be the problem. That's why Vishnu will not use the last change only for the small evil. Vishnu will come for the big evil, but when and where we never know.
So
And
he
then-
still hasn't come the
Yes,
Okay.
it's true. And then the 9 reincarnation of Vishnu that's already coming. The most famous, it was number 7. Long time ago, Vishnu was coming, transforms to be Rama.
Rama.
That's why we have story Rama and Sinta, Ramayana. Maybe you heard the name.
Yes.
Number 8, it was Krishna. That's why they have story Hari Krishna. And number 9, this is very strange, reincarnation of Vishnu. He was becoming Buddha. So now you can see the link between Hindus and Buddhists, that Hindus believe that Buddha is from Vishnu, also from Hindus. But you must remember, the Buddhist people never agree about the Hindus concepts. Buddha is Buddha, not from Hindu, not from Vishnu. But Hindus said that Buddha is from Hindu, Buddha is from Vishnu, because Siddhartha, he was a prince from the Hindus kingdom.
Yes.
From 0 until 29 years old. And then, now the question about the last one. That's still not coming yet, but the name and the character already written in the holy book that they have. They will call him Kalki. Kalki. He will be a man who will be coming riding the white horse with the big sword in the right hand. He will be the hero from the Hindus mythology. And then if we are compared in Hindus, they have the hero that they call Kalki. What about the other religion? In the Buddhist, they have Buddha Maitreya, the next Buddha.
The next Buddha.
Who will be coming. In Jewish, they have Yahweh. In Christian, they have Jesus Christ, who will be coming for the second time.
Right.
The question for you, what about the Islam people believe? In Islam, they believe about Imam Mahdi. And Imam Mahdi is another name of Isa. And Isa is another name of Jesus Christ. So 100% same. So it could be Kalki in Hindus, Buddha, Maitreya in Buddhist, or Yahweh in Jewish. It could be the same persons also like Jesus Christ. Because the God only one, the God only create one earth, and the God only send one hero. One day when this earth need the hero, not 5 heroes. If 5 heroes coming, the movie will be never to be box office. That is the concepts of theology that we have actually. Only sometimes the people never learn about that, so they fighting each other, talking about the difference. It's supposed to be they're talking about the similarity between one to another one. And then the modern people like us, sometimes we said that what they did long time ago, it was a stupid thing because they are fighting between different religion. But now the people not smarter because people sometimes fighting because the same religion.
Yeah.
This is not really funny.
Not good
right,
thing.
Right. This is the
Okay.
concept. And then flashback again, Sewu has the cow.
That's
why the cow to be the holy animal for Hindus. And the cow is also symbolizing of second mother for us. That's why we are not allowed to take the blood and the meat from
the
the
cow.
cow.
I see, because it's a vehicle of
Yes.
Shiva.
Only two things that you can take from the cow. Do you know?
Hide? Yeah, leather?
No, not a
No?
lot.
Oh.
Because the Hindus not allowed to kill the cow.
Oh, okay. Milk?
Milk, okay. Something like that you already took from your mom when you were baby. You
Okay.
took a lot of milk.
Milk? Dong? Maybe like poo?
No.
No?
No. You don't take it from your mom.
No.
Yeah, only two things that you take from
Let's see.
your mama.
Love?
Love, okay. That is not, but not really love.
Okay.
Not only blood,
No,
but
blood.
this is energy.
Energy. Okay.
Yeah, you took a lot of energy from your mom, a lot since when
Yeah,
you
my
were
mom.
in the womb of her, until you are getting adult and you can do everything by yourself. And then your mama, she never come to you to pay her.
No.
And then you have to pay
Yeah.
for something
Right.
that already you took from your
Right.
mama. You have to pay to your children later on. Yeah, and your daddy also never asked to you to pay to him, but you have to pay as daddy for your children later on. So this is to continue the generations. That's why the concepts of Hindus, after you are getting adult, they have to marry, they have to give the children to continue the life. Yeah, this is the concepts. And then for Brahma, he has a swan for the riding animal, and Vishnu has a Garuda for the eagle right there. So inside of the temple we can find the statue of eagle also, and the cow is inside here and the swan right there.
Have
And
you
then-
ever seen it? Have you been?
Exactly, because this is just closed in last 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
And I did this job already 29 years.
Oh my goodness.
Since 1991.
Oh my-
1993. July 1993 I started.
You are so interesting to listen to, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you very
you're welcome,
much.
You're welcome. And then inside of the biggest temple, we can
Yeah.
because now we cannot enter it. So we can see from outside, but
Yeah.
we cannot see the statue. So when we reach the last stairs that we have right there, we enter it, and then 15 meters deep we will find Sewu is the biggest statue that we have.
Okay.
And he is 5 meters high, the statue. I mean, 3.5 is the statue, and then 1.5 is the altar. And then when the Hindus people coming for doing the big ceremonial, they always bring a lot of waters, and then they wash the feet of Sewu, and the water that they use for washing, it will be coming out from the water drainage system that it has. So they will collect with different bucket, and then they call it to be holy water. And Sewu is described always with 4 arms, because the back arm symbol of destroyer of evil, and the front symbol of rebuilder. And then in the back side over there, when we going downstairs, we make a round. In the second room first, yeah, we can find the name is, we called him Mahaguru. Mahaguru, exactly like your daddy, but
Oh, that's
smaller.
not my dad.
Oh, your daddy.
That's my friend.
Oh, your friend. Okay, like your friends. He has a lot of. He has a long mustache
Oh, yes.
and heavy beard.
Yes.
It's a symbol of
Hey,
wise
Ben.
man. Symbol of wisdom, wise man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
This
yes.
is like the priest that
Priest.
we have. Yes. And then in the third room is Ganesha, son of Sewu. The son of Sewu, he is the head of elephant and human body.
Okay.
And in the last room is the wife of Sewu. The statue not so big, just life size. Life size, like the girls from Indonesia, yeah, 155 centimeters. But the descriptions of the wife of Sewu, like this statue here, you can see here. Now, so like the statue in the middle over there, yeah, you can zoom
Yeah.
it, and that is like in the dancing positions, but the statue is life size, so like that positions.
Okay.
Because in the Hindu mythology, in the concept of outer beauty, the first it is started from the calf. The calf is number one.
Okay.
The outer beauty is from the first.
From
is the
right there,
calf,
okay.
Yes. And then that's why the formal dress of women in America, in Europe, in Asia is always same. The formal dress for women is always use the long dress, but they cut it so the man can see the calf.
Because that's
yes,
the
right.
I
And
see.
then number 2 is normal, like in the middle body, the bottom, the belly, something like that one. And the third is the breast and the shoulder. Yeah. So
the face doesn't
it's
matter.
True. The face doesn't matter. It's true.
Okay.
So the most important is sexy.
I see.
That's
Okay.
why the dress from India, sari, they always show it the belly. Yeah, this is to show the beauty
of the
shapes
female
of the,
body.
yes,
I
right,
see.
right.
What about, I read that there's a well inside the...
Inside and then the statue. Yeah, so when we open up the ruins first time and then the statue was damaged and we removed the position of the altar, we could find the well. And the well, actually that is to keep the offerings that they, when they built the temple first time. And now the box stones that contains a lot of relics, that is the bones from animal, the gold, the silver, something like that. That is for offerings before they built the big building. We keep it in the museum. So in the museum you can find it like that, or you can see it like that.
I see.
Because we want to show it to the people. That's why we just keep it in the museum.
Gotcha.
I mean, we don't put it inside.
Yeah.
There.
I see.
And that is normal. So when the local people here they build the houses, actually, normally before they build the houses, they made a lot of offering also, and they made a lot of offerings that they buried in the land when they built the houses.
So
also.
was this traditional to like Indonesian people? This
This
process
is from Hindus mythology.
Hindus mythology.
Yes, from Hindus mythology.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then before Hindus coming to Java, actually the people here believe in animism also. But I mean they don't say any religions, but believe in animism. You know animism?
Yeah.
And then when Hindus starts coming, they were change the mind to be Hindus. And then in 14th century, when Islam starts coming, it was a mix again, or there was a syncretism between Hindus, animism, and Islam. That's why the cultures that we have in Java actually is a basic from Hindus and animism and Islam culture.
So interesting.
Yeah, that's why the Islam people here not so fundamentalist like in other countries, for example. So Islam here is more open mind, accepted something. Yeah, it's true. And then this is that we call Islam Kejawen. Yeah, Kejawen. Kejawen it means from Java. From Java. Islam from Java.
So it has unique twist on it.
You're right. You're right. So the Islam people here, we can say as deep as the skin. And then after you cut the skin, the blood actually still Hindus. And then you break the bone, actually it is still animism. That's why the Islam people here is normal when in the daily life they do a lot of activities like what the Hindus people did also.
Back in the day.
For example, like in the wedding party, when the wife got pregnancy, when the wife, the baby 7 months in the womb, or when the baby was born, or when somebody died. A lot of ritual that we do. And you cannot find in Middle East. You cannot find in the place where Islam come from, but you can find like in the Hindus people in Bali or in India.
Interesting.
But the Islam people here never said that is from Hindus, but we said that is from our ancient. Yeah, because our ancient actually, if we are talking about the traditions, original tradition from our ancient, we never know. We never know. Just animism mixed with Hindus. Yes,
gotcha.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Very interesting woman. This is the carving much deeper than the carving that we have in at the temple in Borobudur, for example, because they want to show the stone art and the art of stone carving. I mean, and then they make it the carving getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So they took a little bit longer times. And we can find the ornaments, the bird with human heads, and always flanking the banyan.
Can I touch it?
Sure. You can touch it, no problem.
Wow.
And then you can touch the carving also.
Hey,
And then
buddy.
the bird is a symbol of angel.
Okay.
So angel that's the God sent to this earth, it is describes like the bird with human heads. But the angel that they have in nirvana, in paradise, is like normal human, and they just like a dancer, like a singer. For example, like that one. That is also the description one of the angel.
This one?
Yeah, in the middle. It's true.
Wow. So this is an angel
Yeah,
in
this is
Hinduistic.
angel. Same thing like that we have in the Nandi temple over there.
Wow.
And then you can see the positions always showing the beauty, outer beauty.
I see.
And then from the bird like that, that is the angel that always stand by under the banyan tree, and they are waiting for us for make a wish.
Oh.
So when we come to the banyan tree, actually there are a lot of angels right there, and you can make a wish right there, and they can help you, because whatever you said, it will be crystallized, and then whatever you said, it will be fall down into the ground to be the crystal, and they pick up one by one, and they will be hanging into the root of the banyan tree. And the crystal that they hanging into the root will be going up to the sky, come to the god, and the god will be asking to the angel, this is from who? Yeah. For example, what is your name?
Nick.
Nick. This is from Nick God, and they will asking more. Who is the Nick? Who is Nick? The father, the parents, and what about him? He is good son for his parent. He is good son. He is a good boy for his friend, for example. So it is the report depend on them. Yeah, the report depend on them, and the God will say, okay, give everything what's next one.
Yeah. I see. So they're like connecting you
it's
with
true,
God.
It's true. And why they got a lot of files from a lot of file of us, because this earth is always tell what we did in this earth. So that's why you remember about the concepts of mudra in the Hindus and Buddhism. One of them like this, give a teaching.
Yes.
Another one like this, against the evil, don't be afraid to say the truth. And then like this, charity. Like this, it is the most famous one, believe in karma. And it's mean this earth to be the witness what you do in the earth. So sometimes you lie to your mama, but your mama actually she knows, because this earth representation of your mama.
I see.
And the sky representation of your daddy. So actually they know, but they don't want to fight with you. It's true, right, mom?
Oh, mom always knows.
Sometimes, but it's okay, normal, everyone. And then you can see the water drainage system that we have. And some of them is not working so good. Because the floor inside a little bit sinking. Because too much people enter it before, and that is the ornaments, like the mouth of the tree. And not so much cloud in the bottom.
Wow, that's a nice view. Wow. Look at this, guys.
And from here you will get the nice picture. So
from right here?
The concepts, the flower in the bottom, that is symbol of woman. And then the stem in the top, that is symbol of man. So the concepts of Hindus, that woman always in the bottom, man always in the top. Why woman in the bottom always and man always in the top? Because woman is the source of power. That's why the wise people always said the big behind of the big man, it must be the great woman. And woman has a lot of powers. Man is weak, but woman cannot use the power for woman itself. That's why woman give the power to the man that she loves. That is the concepts. So because sometimes the concepts like that, the king a long time ago always married more than one wife. So they believe more wife will be more
powerful,
because more loves. And normally that is only for the king, not for public people.
Not for public people.
For public people, it will be more wife, will be more problems.
More problems.
It's true. And then the top of the Buddhist temple, they call it stupa, like a bell. And the things that the round things like the bell, actually that is the coconut bowl and upside down. And in the bottom actually is the clothes of Buddha, the scarf of Buddha. And in the top that is the clothes umbrella. So there are three things: the scarf of Buddha on the clothes, we can say, and the coconut bowl and umbrella. And it is symbolizing of the primer necessary that we need in this earth. We need the clothes to cover the body, we need the food for survive, and we need little bit shelter to protect from the bad weather. If you have three things, it means you already built your own stupa. And if you already has three things, you have to enter in your stupa, because stupa the only one who can protect you from suffering in this life.
I see.
Because suffering not coming from inside, but most of them is coming from outside and influence our mind and our heart.
I see.
Because
I apologize. Well,
yes.
So stupas were used both by Hindus and Buddhists?
No, this is ratna.
Ratna, so
ratna.
Different.
Yes, ratna. In the Hindus is ratna, lotus and upside down. And stupa is like that.
Because it kind of looks the same.
Looks same, but
the different concepts are different.
The concept is very different.
I see.
I see.
Gotcha. So all these rocks, all these stones that have no carvings, that's the new stuff, right?
Yeah, but to make it clear, we have to be close and we have to check the marking.
The markings.
Yes,
Okay.
Because sometimes we can find unfinished carving. And unfinished carving we could find in small temples also. And unfinished carving prove us when the building it was still going on, something already happened. The big catastrophe, maybe big eruption first, or big earthquake first, and they never continue for building the temples. And because of discovery of unfinished carving, also it will prove us when they built the temple, they put the stone first and they made the carving after. That's why sometimes unfinished carving we could find only in the bottom, not in the top.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And later on I show you unfinished carving in the front side of this temple.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can make a wrong. Remember, Hindus is much older than Buddhists.
It is.
So they use the concepts from Hindus actually to spread Buddhism. Because Buddha is not a religion, you remember that
It's a
the
philosophy.
new philosophy.
Yeah.
And Siddhartha, he was Hindu, that's why he found the new philosophy for his life, and then he tried to spread for his family that's still Hindus, and he used the Hindus mythology for the medium to spread the Buddhism.
I
It is
see.
like when Islam people use the story of Hindus mythology to spread Islam religion in
Here,
Java.
okay.
Yes, right.
I see.
Because when they built the mosque, the Islam people built the mosque. The Islam people, they never used the mosque for praying in the first time, but they used the mosque for doing the performance of wayang, puppet show. And puppet show that is original from Java. It's made by the local people here, but the story that they use is from Hindu. And then the local people who still Hindus, but they were from the lowest caste system, they come to the mosque watching the performance inside of the mosque. So little by little, they was the brains of the local people here. That's when the people changed the mind slowly until they never realized they changed the
Completely.
new religions.
I
Completely
see.
changed.
Do you know why is it Ramayana Buddhism and not Theravada that came to Indonesia? Like why was it one and not the other that made it here?
Ramayana.
Oh no, sorry, Mahayana.
Mahayana,
Yeah.
yes. Actually, because it is actually why the spreading of Hindus and Buddhism, it is depend on the sector that they have actually. And at that times, the Buddhists who coming here is not Mahayana because only Hinayana, because it is that they have from the south of Nepal.
South.
Come to the south, yes, right.
I see.
Right.
Trade and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the Mahayana they went to the west, like in China, most of them.
I see.
Yeah,
So it's
that's-
from Nepal. It
Yeah,
came.
right. From Nepal, it's first time the spreading of Buddhism.
But why is it that in we were just in Malaysia and there's a lot of people of Tamil, Tamils?
Yeah, Tamils.
Yeah.
Yes,
why,
I know.
Why was there so many Tamil? Because they're from the south of India. There.
This is this is actually just in last 100 years they were to be the migrant.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the Buddhist people that we have in Indonesia right now, they are not the Buddhist, the descendant of the Buddhist people from 1200 or before.
They're not?
Ago. No. The Buddhist people here is the migrant from China, from somewhere else, that they try to get the better life, and because they have the religion, they own religions like Tao, something like that one, and the Tao religion is not admitted in Indonesia, not allowed growing up here. That's why they changed the mind to be Buddha,
I
to
see.
save themselves.
I see.
Yeah, so Tao is very close with the Buddhism. It is very different with Hindus people that we have in Bali. Hindus people that we have in Bali, they are the descendant of the Hindus people that we have from 1,000 years ago.
Oh, so that they're original.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why we don't have the center of Buddhist population here. Why? Because when Buddhists in Sumatra and the king of Buddha met the spreaders of Islam that's coming from Turkish, from Persia, the king of Buddha changed the mind to be Islam also. So almost there was no conflicts in Sumatra when the king of Buddha changed to be Islam. And why so easy? Because at that times the king of Buddha married one wife from Champa. Champa is one of the small Islam kingdom between Cambodia and Vietnam.
Interesting.
Yeah, so because they did expansions somewhere and to prove the power, when they did expansion, the king normally always took the princess from the place where they did expansions. Because the first king of Islam itself that we have in Java, is one of the son of Hindu's kingdom itself.
Okay.
So the king of Hindu also married a lot of wives, and one of the wife is Islamic princess.
I see.
And then from the Islam princess get the birth one of sons, and finally to be the king of Islam in Java.
Oh, I
And
see.
when the conflict was going on, political conflict, I mean not religion conflicts, the Hindus moved away to Bali. This happened in 15th century.
I see.
And finally, a king of Islam never let Islam cross to Bali. That's why Bali pure to be Hindus. Because the king of Islam actually he want to show his respect to the father. That's why Islam never crossed to Bali, but Islam later on make around behind Bali, Lombok. So in Lombok, Islam again. And then in the east side of Lombok, less Islam because the people from Spanish starts coming from Philippines, cross to Sulawesi, cross to the east. But the Dutch coming from the west. That's why the Dutch tried to just win them out from Indonesia.
I see.
So the Spanish back to Philippines, but Portuguese, because they support the Dutch, so they gave the space in Timor. So Timor is full of Catholic right there. And
Interesting.
then when the Dutch already strong enough in Java, the British starts coming from Malaysia, Singapore, cross to Java, and they found Borobudur, you remember?
Okay.
That's why Borobudur discovered not by the Dutch. That
By
stay
the-
here more than 300 years, but it was discovered by the British.
By the British.
By Stamford or Raffles, yes, right. But British stay here not so long because the Dutch didn't like when British stay here for a long time. That's why they tried to just win them out from Java, move to Sumatra, and they kick off from Sumatra and they move again to Malaysia, Singapore. That's why the colonialism of British start from Singapore to the north until India, not in Sumatra, Java.
Interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But Dutch British not so long in Java, but something that's very interesting to know, they left something when you drive the car here via in the left side, yeah, in the wheel in the right side.
Yeah, that
and
never changed,
Yeah, and the Dutch they come here, they never bring any car.
Oh,
And
okay.
the British they come here, they bring the car.
So that's
they,
why it
yes,
happened.
Right.
I see.
Because the Dutch never products the car.
Oh.
And we can make another pictures from behind of the temple.
Okay. Oh, hey guys, look at the whole complex. This is fantastic. So beautiful. Wow. To think that this is more than 1,000 years old. Wow. Hey guys, this is fascinating. So thank you so much, Dewey. This has been great. I hope when you guys come here, find Dewey. He's gonna show you the best spots here, the most interesting history. So don't miss this. Don't go without a tour guide. And if you do, Dewey's your guy. Was this ever painted? Like
No.
Okay, so it's just like this.
Normally in the temple, if they were painted, we will find the information from the inscription that we found, because we have some temples that's painted also, like Kalasan, the Buddhist temple 3 kilometers from here, and in the inscription also it was mentioned that the temple it was painted with the golden color.
I see.
Like that one.
Was there any treasures inside, like any gold?
No.
So it would just
no.
be rock.
Just rock, it's true. But for the Buddhist temple, normally the Buddhist temple that we could find in one country and the country is already colonialized by another country, normally the main statues in the Buddhist temple is disappear, because normally the main statue in the Buddhist temple is made from gold or plated with the gold.
Oh, okay.
That's why the Buddha's color always a golden color.
Golden color.
Yes, right. And then like in the Sewu temple, for example, also disappear. Kalasan temple also disappear. Borobudur in the main stupa also no statue anymore.
Yeah, because the Dutch probably took it. They said it.
Maybe, but we never know, because so far we never find in the museum from the golden statue, and they have some golden statue, but not from Java.
Okay.
But for the head of Buddha is a lot right there. That is
Okay.
normal. They took it a long time ago, or they sell it for the antique markets that they have in Europe. And
Gotcha.
sometimes there was also the payment in Christie House of New York, like that's happened in last couple of years ago. And sometimes the Indonesian government asking for the reset that is original or not. If
I see.
original, of course, the government want to paint that and bring it back here.
Okay. Okay.
Only the temple is older than this temple, older than Borobudur, because it was built by the grandfather of the king who built Borobudur temple, and it was 60 years older than this one, and it was also damaged in the same times with this temple and discovered in the same times, and the restoration also in during the colonialism times also.
Gotcha.
Only the statues, all of them is disappear for the main statues in the main temple.
So it's pretty
But for the statues of Buddha in the small temple, some of them are still right there, but only headless. I mean, the head is already gone, so only the body of Buddha that we have right there. And the complex also as big as like this, with 249 towers.
Oh my.
That we're supposed to have, and now only 18 towers.
I see.
And the main temple also almost as big as like the biggest temple in Prambanan, only shorter. So Prambanan is 47 and Sewu is 30 meters high.
Okay,
Yeah, and that has to be the second largest Buddhist temple after Borobudur.
in Indonesia. Okay.
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
actually the complex, if we are compare with Borobudur, that is much bigger.
Bigger.
But if we are compare only one temple, that is Borobudur is still to be the biggest
Awesome.
one.
Okay, well, thank you, Dewey.
Okay, Nick,
Really appreciate
take
it.
your time, Ben. Okay, Mama, take your time. And we never know, sometimes the world so small, we meet somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe in Prambanan, maybe Canada.
Maybe in Calgary, yeah.
maybe somewhere else.
Awesome.
Maybe in this life, maybe next
Maybe
life.
next one.
Okay, God bless you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dewey.
So you can follow this
Uh-huh.
one. And the Green Tent Museum, and just behind of the museum.
Perfect.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dewey.
Enjoy.
Well, hey guys, that was really, really interesting. I'm glad Dewey could help us out with the tour of Prambanan. I mean, I always, sometimes I'm conflicted. Should I get the tour guide? Should I not? But when the culture and history is so foreign to me, I actually prefer a tour guide because you learn so much more. Especially with the complexity of Hinduism or Buddhism. Like we had a great guide for a Borobudur trip. You know, these two ideologies are so complex, they're so ancient. There's no way you can do your own research and know everything. So Dewey seems like he had like something like 30 years of experience. So I'm really happy we got his insight as we walk through it. But I wanted to kind of tell you about something. So behind me, there's a poster for a concert about, it's called The Legend of Roro Jongrang. And I read a little bit about it, so I just wanted to share with you guys. So the Shiva temple that we just saw has a statue, and it's called Slim Maiden. It's called Slim Maiden, of a Slim Maiden, that's what they call it. And where we're going right now is it's a Buddhist complex. So we just came from the Hindu complex going into Buddhist complex. So the tale goes, so what happened was, after these things were built, there was a downfall, and especially when Islam came to the region, Buddhism and Hinduism sort of went on the decline, and then in a few hundred years, people sort of left these places. They were overgrown, just hidden in a jungle, and so people actually forgot who even built them. They were just there, and so because people didn't know the origins of it, they started making tales, and soon enough, these places around them grew a set of tales that sort of explained how they came to be here. And the tale was that there was a prince that wanted to marry a princess, but she didn't want to marry him. But he asked and asked and asked, and he sort of forced her to marriage, and she said, all right, fine, I'll marry you under one condition. You have to build 1,000 temples in one night. And he said, okay, I'll try. So to do that, he asked for help of the demons, of the bad entities. And supposedly the Buddhist temple that we're going to is where he would do his building. So him and the devils got to work, and as the night progressed, they made 999 temples, with only one more to go before he would complete his task. But the princess, knowing that he will succeed, decided to trick him. So he talked to her maidens, her helpers, and said, start a huge fire over the hill, and this would trick the prince and the demons that the sun is about to rise. So that's what they did. They started a fire. It was really bright, and it looked like the sun is about to rise, and that scared off the demons, and they ran away, and the prince was unable to finish his last temple. He found out about it, and when he found out about it, he was furious. So he went up to the princess and turned her to stone. And supposedly that statue is the one that stands in the temple of Shiva, and the one that is called the Slim Maiden. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it because it's all closed due to COVID, but it's there. And the temples that Prince was building are where we're going now, in, I think, let me pronounce, Sewu temples. So that's sort of the mythology behind it, and that's what the poster was advertising there. So I just wanted to share that part of folklore from here. But it's so fascinating how, you know, once a stronghold of Buddhism and Hinduism in the region, you know, it fell into despair to the point where, you know, people forgot what it was all about, and they started making up tales about how this place came to be. You know, as we walk to the next temple, you can hear the traditional Javanese music coming through the speakers. So this is the music that is made from the instruments that we played earlier in the museum in Borobudur. It's very interesting. You know, the tune is ever changing. It just adds to the aura of being in this place, looking at the temples. All right, guys. So on our way to Sewu Temple, or Kandi, which is temple, Temple Sewu, we're stopping by this temple, Kandi Lambang. It's right here, just a little boy, but nevertheless beautiful. So this is actually now Buddhist. So there we had the Hindu stronghold, but you know, you take a 3-4 minute walk and you get to the Buddhist temples. Now, there's not too much information about this one in specific, but you know, it appears to be in quite a good shape, actually. So we've heard a lot of these temples had a significant damage to them with the earthquakes and the volcano eruptions, but this one seems to be quite nice. Although, of course, some of the things have fallen down, but here would be the Buddha statue, but headless. This actually looks more Hindu. There you go. There's little temples here, and the main temple here that definitely took some damages. So when you look at the carvings in the stone, you see some of them are sort of look out of place. That's probably because for restoration they used not the original stones, and so therefore it looks that way. But like Dewey said, they have to use 75% original. That's why it takes a long time. But let's look what's inside of these little temples right here. Oh, interesting. Just a small place to be. Interesting. To meditate, perhaps. It's fascinating how nothing in these buildings is held up by cement. It's sold by interlock technique that they used to carve into stones. Quite fascinating. All right, Lambang Temple. Off to Temple of Sewu. All right, guys. And so as we're still walking to Sewu Temple, we came upon Bubra Temple. So this is another temple from the 9th century. It's also Buddhist. It's a beautiful temple, and sort of the shape of it, as you see, sort of resembles a mountain. And that is, of course, the Buddhist theological, mythological mountain of Meru, sort of, which sort of symbolizes the cosmology of Buddhism. It's sort of shaped, represented as a mountain, and this is exactly what this shape is trying to sort of recreate. And what makes this one specifically unique is that it unlike any other temples you find there, it symbolizes two mandala concepts, Vajradhatu and Garbhadhatu mandalas. So in Hinduism, this concept is known as linga and yoni. Linga represents masculinity, yoni represents femininity. And so this one sort of symbolizes both of them. So this duality of two beginnings is something that makes this temple, a very unique one. And look how beautiful it is. Let's walk up closer and look at it. Wow. Obviously, as you can see, the style is quite similar to that of Borobadur's grand temple that we saw earlier. I believe this one is actually older than Borobudur. So, well, Sewu temple is definitely older than Borobudur. So this is sort of where the style originated, if you will. And then that's what been used as an inspiration for architecture when they were building Borobudur 30 or so years later. So look at that. What a beautiful Buddhist temple. Wow. Oh, and there's Ben. Hey, Ben. Are you enjoying Buddhism? Nice. Yeah, look at that. Pretty awesome. And this one can actually walk. Where's the entrance? Okay. Okay, let's go find the entrance. Let's look at the time. Okay, we still have like 40 minutes. It's not a problem. Okay. Aha. That was really cool, by the way, to learn that in the mythology, you sort of walk into the mouth of a demon, and if you're a bad person, you won't be able to walk in, but if you're good, sort of have no fear and walk on. It's really interesting. Oh, look, this one you can actually walk into. This is the first time that has happened. Okay, well, let's definitely walk into that. Let's see, because I'm not sure. There's no signs that say you can't. Unless I'm misunderstanding. Look at that. I think we should have to take our shoes off. Okay. Alright guys, well, I'm not sure if you can walk and see things or not, but I'm pretty sure you can in this one. And just to do it properly, since we couldn't do it in Borobudur, what you're supposed to do when you come to the temple, do pilgrimages to walk clockwise. And so that is exactly what we're gonna do. So this is something that the monks do in Borobudur. The walk takes something like 4 kilometers long. Unfortunately, it is closed to visitors, so we couldn't recreate it, but maybe next time we're here. But that was really interesting. When I walked into the temple right now, you know, there was a very particular smell. Not a bad smell, just, you know, just like a ancient building smell. And there was a sort of table in the middle. So that was quite interesting. I'll have to research what is it. There was no statue or anything. So that was quite cool, guys. I've never been inside the Buddhist temple before, so I'm really happy that I had the chance. I hope I was allowed to walk in. I don't know, there's no sign saying that I couldn't. But it was a really cool experience. Thank you for allowing this. But yeah, it was a really cool experience, you know. There's a very specific aura around there as you walk in. The smell changes, the air feels different, you know. Just to imagine that for hundreds of years people prayed in there and praised Buddha and meditated. It's quite amazing. And there was something in the center. I thought it was like it looked like a little space to put something in, like a table was a lid on it, but I couldn't quite understand. We'll have to look at the video and I'll have to do a little bit of research what that is, but it's very unique, very peaceful, really cool. All right, guys, here's our final destination for today. Final new destination for today. Sewu Temple. Look at this beautiful place. Wow. Okay. So I wonder where's the entrance. But look at this. So this place is 30 years older than Borobudur. As you can see, the whole thing is built. Well, I'm not sure if you can see, but from what we could see in the template of this place, it looks like a gigantic mandal, which is a Buddhist way of representing universe. It's sort of square shape thing that sort of symbolizes the ideology of Buddhism. So that's why you see it's square-like. And all these piles of rocks that you see here is the remainders of the old little temples. So this one, as you can see, is somewhat in a good shape. That one is in a great shape, so it must have been restored recently. But all these other ones are waiting their turn. So like Dewey said, this could take more than 100 years to finish, you know? We can be looking at next century passing and there still be some temples that are not recovered, reconstructed, because of course they have to use the original rocks. 70% of it has to be original. And so you see some of them have piles of rocks sort of put there. Some of them have almost none. So it's gonna take a while, and they get this rock from all over Indonesia. So if somebody used it to build their house or sold it to a museum or something like that, they try to reacquire it, bring it here, and recreate the temples from it. Which is I think is a very great way of doing it. Oh man, how do you get in there? Okay, I think we have to go around. I hope we have the time. We have like half an hour left, but well, as we were walking around the Sewu temple, trying to find the entrance, I just wanted to say, so this temple compound was the central Buddhist heartland here in Java at the time. So at the time there was no Prambanan, right? There was no Borobudur. When they built this 30 meters high, this would have been the largest Buddhist temple on the island, if not of all Indonesia. So this place is very significant. I'm so happy that we had just enough time to swing by and see it. So I think it's so worth it. Hopefully we find the entrance and we'll walk up a little closer because I want to give you a better look, but it's fantastic. So beautiful as you walk through the park. See this blossoming trees and bushes, and smells great. You know, truly here in Yogyakarta you get a different feel. Haven't had a chance to see a lot of the city because we've been traveling all day today in this historical sites, but Jakarta, although beautiful, is very crowded, right? And with that you get a lot of pollution from the cars. There's also a lot of factories, so they further pollute the air, and actually it's hard to see some of the skyscrapers on the skyline on the horizon because of all the pollution smoke. But here in Yogyakarta it's a completely different thing. It's still a huge city, a few million people live here, but it's way less than Jakarta, and therefore the air is better. Everything just seems more chill, less businessy. People are more laid back. I like it. It's good. Okay, did we find the entrance? Okay, I think might be able to see the entrance. Okay, I'll see if this is the right place. By the way, so here's our Sewu temple. The complex goes way beyond this little fence they have. There's more temples to be reconstructed here, I believe. I think this is where, yeah, look at this. This is where temples actually stood. So you can see how huge this complex is. Just fantastic. And it's kind of cool to tie in that lore story about the prince and the princess and the demons, and how the prince was trying to build all these temples in one night, right? So you can imagine being a Javanese and sort of living in, you know, 13th or 14th century, way after these things were complete and let to be overgrown by the jungle. So when you see this, just stumble upon this as you go through jungle, you'd be like, wow, who built this? What civilization built this? This is definitely not made by humans. That's exactly what they thought, right? That's how the tales came to be. This is why they thought this was a work of demons or some other sorcery. It's kind of neat how to reimagine that and just to pretend like you're that person seeing that for the first time without any explanation of what it is, and going like, this is something strange. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we got here right in time for the closing ceremony. All right, guys. As I was filming the Sewu temple, my camera went out, so I'm using backup camera. But I just wanted to say, what a beautiful day we spent here in Yogyakarta. We saw Borobudur, we saw Prambanan, and we even saw Sewu. So we really saw the full spectrum of the Yogyakarta Java pre-Islamic history today. It's quite a fascinating thing to see. And as we're walking out here, what a beautiful view we get to witness. Look at this. It's a sunset time, and we get to see Prambanan as the sun is setting. So, wow. I hope you had fun. I sure did. We learned a lot, I think. Definitely going to be back here again when they open up all the temples so we can go in them, because that's one thing that we did miss today. But other than that, I think a successful day.